used to be a shy person. If I'm not still a shy person, but I used to be a shy person. I would tell them, you are in it together. You are shy and shy. So let us do it shy and know
A
exactly.
congregation of shy people.
Exactly. So that I said, okay, whenever I'm thinking about how much impact I'm making in the life of the students, I think also about how much impact these students are making in my life. Because
Let's write. Hello, everyone. You're welcome to episode 1 of our Resilience in Values project, brought to you by Secure the Future for the Youth Initiative. The Resilience in Values project is a value orientation program campaign across secondary schools in Nigeria. Today, we'll be taking you through a journey of how our national values agents are re-engineering the values in our secondary schools. Take a trip with me. Right. So you're going to meet our national values agent, and she's going to take us through a journey. One of our national values agents, actually, how she has been using values to re-engineer society in secondary school. So let's meet our guest for today. Hi, Ada.
morning, sir.
How are you doing? Okay, I know you are Ada. Let's meet you. Who is Ada?
Okay, my name is Nob Jacinta Azaobi. I am a farmer, a fish farmer certified. I'm also into agro-processing and production. I'm a core member currently serving in Edo State. I'm also a change owner and I volunteer in Secure the Future.
Fantastic. All right, welcome. And good to have you on the first episode of the National Values Project.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get right into it. You know, it's all about value orientation, all right? And it's often said that the society, the family is a reflection of society. And you are a national values agent in a particular school. So I want you to walk us through what you met, what you found out in the secondary school where you are leading values change.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, when I was appointed to go to the school where we are currently in, my expectation was I was expecting to see our normal definition of a Nigerian government school, where a public school where they are not well dressed, they are not well disciplined, there's no teacher in the class. But I was surprised because they went there. They were having the assembly section and the students were very organized. So that alone was like, okay, fine, whatever I have to bring to the students, I have to bring something worthy at time, because definitely from what I was seeing, the interaction with the students, talking to them on that day, made me understand that they were not like what I had in what we have.
And you say it's just about.
Thank you. Initial mindset we had were students who were not disciplined, who do not pay attention in class. That was what we had in mind, because the environment alone and where the school is located, there's no light. So we just had a mindset that is one local school, one local public school. But when we went there, it was quite different. Like I said, the students there were very intelligent, actually, because when compared to being in a private school, the students were more intelligent than those in private schools. Actually interacted with private school students, and interacting with these public school students, I observed that there was a huge difference. And so as though the private school students are now the public school students, while the public school students are now more behaved than the notion that we normally have here in Nigeria. So going to the school, we already know that the people we are coming to meet, most of them, not all, permitting to say, they are of good character. So more of the work that we had to do there was to talk to them about developing character, that is value reorientation. Because as teenagers, as young ones that they are still trying to find themselves. So that's why I think what we do matters in public school, because I've spoken with several students who are intelligent, academically sound. You can see that they are doing very well. But when you tell them come address a class, they are shy. Okay, answer this question. You already know the answer, but you just feel like, okay, if I express myself and if I answer the question, say, teacher will laugh at me, or students will laugh at me, I'll be wrong and all that. But
Sorry. Are you saying that you didn't see a value crisis in there? You didn't, there was no problem of values in
I'm not
that
saying
classroom.
that. I'm just saying that we know we have this notion that when you are entering a government school, you expect everywhere to be rowdy. The students they're having their school uniform, not caps on caps. They're not with their ties and they are looking rough, wearing slippers. But when I went to the school, when I got to the school, it was not like that. Every student in the school had their ties on. In fact, it was mandatory. They had their ties on. On a Friday, you don't go to the school wearing PE vests. So there was this strict guidance among the students. Even with the principal, they had these they were obeying the laws of the or the rules of the school. So I'm not really saying there weren't issues with values, but what I'm trying to say is that they were more
But I
behaved
didn't,
than I
well,
expected.
okay, okay. Fantastic. Thank you for that introduction. Now, so that led you to go back and reevaluate and strategize how you're going to execute your
Yes, sir.
your values project. So I want you to take us through your story of what were the services or what were the solutions you provided, all right? The series of solutions you provided to reshape and reset their values before we talk about the result or the impact you're getting. So take us through the
Okay.
services you rendered.
Okay. So like I said, when we got to the school, we observed that most of the students there were actually academically sound. They are intelligent, but they lack this self-esteem, this
Self-confidence.
self-confidence, and yeah, even when talking to their peers, you see that when addressing their peers, one-on-one, they are cool. Oh. Once you tell them come to this place and talk to maybe come and stand before your classmates and talk to them, you see them not feeling so comfortable, being afraid to express themselves and all that. This is the fact that they are intelligent.
What were the solutions and how did you provide those solutions? Because I've already heard you mention club. It's like there is a club.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
speak to the solutions and the way you apply the solutions in ensuring you re-engineer the values of the students.
Okay. So, as regards our plans on how we help to train the students in terms of reorientation, on a weekly basis, we meet with the students every week, compulsory every
Once a
week.
week, every day of the
Once
week.
a week, sorry,
Okay.
once a week. We meet with the students every week to talk to them about values, about integrity, about respect, about little things that they have today, that they are familiar with, but due to our society and
They're
how
familiar but they don't practice.
exactly they are
Or they're
familiar with due
familiar
to
but they
our,
don't know the meaning.
no, they know the meaning. They can simply tell you, okay, this is what it is. You know what respect, they know what respect is, they know what discipline means, they know what being truthful means. But we observe that due to the kind of society that we found ourselves, they have not been able to practice it, not because they don't want to, because our society don't value these things.
Our
So
society don't value it, so
exactly.
they don't practice it, even
Exactly.
though they know it.
No, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So every Friday we meet with the students to talk about different values. We also have assembly sections where we will address some issues. There was a time we had an assembly session when we during the 16 days of activism, when we spoke to the students about gender-based violence and all that. We also have when we call the students together for one of our yearly events, is called the reposition, which we have once a year. So there are different activities that we do to engage the students. So I think a more practical thing, what we did to help the students build confidence in themselves was our weekly activities in the school. We ensure that those students that not just showed interest, but that were always attending, we ensure that we give them leadership position in our club section. So at first it was difficult because I had to pull them, drag them, say I'm not interested, that kind of a thing. But along the line, when I started talking to them that I also am not a I used to be a shy person, if I'm not still a shy person, but I used to be a shy person. I would tell them, you are in it together, you are shy and shy, so let us do it shy and know
A
exactly.
congregation of shy people.
Yeah, exactly. So them knowing that okay, I can relate with them being shy. Like there was even a time I had to tell them a story of how I wasn't testing how I humiliated myself. I don't want to go in details, but
You don't want to go in
no,
details.
no, 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 sir.
Okay.
But I shall told them that story, and I think one of the things also that helped me to connect with the students was telling them personal stories, making them understand that they are not in it alone. I was once in secondary school, so I know the struggles, I know how it is. When I wanted to study computer science, but I was discouraged from studying computer science because I was told that there is no possible career path for me. I should go and study medicine or anything related to that, but I ended up studying agri. That aside, because the
Okay.
confusion led me to that.
Okay. So with all this you are putting in, you are putting and you are still putting in, how long have you been doing this and what has been the result for you? How long have you been doing infusing values into the students and what has been tangible results for you?
Okay, I can't really tell the number of years I have been doing this, but I know passively, I've been doing it since I was in 200 level. Now I'm a core member. So that would be roughly 6 or 7 years, if I'm not, no, 6 years, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. So, but we've been in this school for the past 2 years. We've been in this school for the past 2 years, yeah.
So what has been your impact, the gain of this whole resilience and values in this school?
And see, there are two ways to look at this impact. Whenever I say, okay, whenever I'm thinking about how much impact I'm making in the life of the students, I think also about how much impact these students are making in my life. Because
That's right. I want to hear the impact you are making in their lives and the impact they are making in your life. I want to hear both.
okay,
Although we don't have enough time, but let's run through it.
okay, I saw there's currently a student now who's about writing jam. When I met her, she was quite shy, also herself, but she was necessary to now. Okay, she has graduated now. She graduated last year. She's trying to write WAEC now. Then she was
Jam.
jam, sorry, she was writing WAEC. So when I met her initially, she was shy. We were always talking. I could easily relate to her because I understood where she was coming from. She had this fear of I don't want to write the exam, I don't want to fail and all that. But now she's now more confident in herself. In the sense that okay, now she's the one taking her mock exam is this Friday, this Saturday, sorry. But regardless, she's not as afraid as she was before. But other than her, the other students who I saw, who when I met, they had struggles in families. They had struggle in fact, even expressing themselves. There's one particular student that when she wants to talk to you, she cannot look at me. So I made it a let's say I made it compulsory that whenever we talk, you must look at me eyeball to eyeball. So let us start building your self confidence from you looking at my eyeball. So she's one of the students currently taking a leadership position in our class. Then even all her classmates they knew her. She can talk one on one, but when it comes to addressing the class, she's always shy. She's always all to herself. But now I see her going to each class. She was necessary when I met her. That is necessary going to test 3. Now she goes to each class, calling her schoolmates to come for the club session. So I think not only have we been able to shape their character, but giving them a sense of responsibility. Now they know that they're no longer responsible for themselves, but they are also responsible for their younger colleagues in school. And also down to their parents. I've had several calls from parents that are like, Auntie, thank you. I don't know if I should say this, but there was a time I was having an issue with one of the parents called me that her daughter does not brush her teeth. So that she doesn't like to brush, that she will ask her to brush her teeth, she will not brush. But as little as, okay, I take this toothpaste, take this brush, ensure you brush. And the mother was always saying, okay, now she don't dey brush her teeth. So there was even a girl that had pimples. She was always picking it off and causing let's say blackheads. So she was having so much blackheads on her face. So her mother told me about it. The mother is a nurse, so she was like, she has given the daughter medication to take that she should stop itching it and all that. But when we started talking to her as regards why she's doing it, I was glad that with time, her face is not looking as rough as it was. I told her, I was telling her, I'm trying to see my face. I don't play with my face. So when you get to my age, when you remember what the things that you have been doing to your face, then you begin to know that what your mother is doing is not just punishment, but she wants you to have the fresher skin. So I think now she has intentionally made different things also with itching the pimples and all that.
What about the one that was introduced as, this person that was the principal talked about rude.
Oh
What
yes,
about that
there was
case?
a time where I was in the school. So this girl, she came greeting me, she hugged me. Then the teacher was like, she's part of your club. I was like, yes, ma. She's part of my club section. She attends although not frequently. She was like, this girl very rude. All the teacher in this class knows her, in this school knows her. So when I spoke to the girl, I spoke with the girl, we talked, and the next time when I was coming back, the principal was like, she has seen not just moral impact in sense of how this, because I introduced some set of leaders, more like ambassadors to the principal. So like she has seen, including the other girl, that she has seen that they have changed in character, not just in character, but also in their knowledge of God, that they are now closer to God. I don't know how she was able to detect that, but this is what she was telling me when we came to for advocacy visit the next thing.
Fantastic. Before we let you go, how have they impacted you?
Okay, I used to think, I used to have this belief that I can't be consistent in a thing, but these students have not just helped me in that aspect. Every Friday, that's when we meet with the students. If, when I'm not there or when neither of my team are there, they will always put a call across. Auntie, where are you? Auntie, we have started. Auntie, so most of the times, even on Thursday, they are already telling me, Auntie, we are expecting you. That alone is like a drive to show that what I'm doing is not just to go and show face. I'm actually making impact. Like I've had several messages from them that are telling me, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for your smile. Thank you very much for believing in me. Thank you very much for encouraging me. And for me, I know that I was once like them. I was once in secondary school and I needed just someone to believe in me. I was not really the bright student. Like, when you are a bright student, everybody applauds you and all that. I was not really that very bright. I was just there among the crowd. So I know what it means for them, for somebody to actually appreciate what they are doing. So for me, I think they have actually helped me in terms of being consistent. Now, there barely is there any Friday that I'm not in their school. So not just being consistent, but also taking my personal growth serious. But I know that the more I develop myself, the more I have more to develop them. So I think with that, I think these students have
Helped you to
helped me
grow,
to grow myself.
and you cannot afford to be less because appearing in their
Absolutely.
face, you are setting the standard. So
Exactly.
they are helping you to become a better person,
Yeah.
just as you are helping them to become
A better
a better
person.
person. Oh, fantastic. What a journey. All right, this is how much we can take on the first episode of our Residence in Values project, which is a national values campaign in secondary schools across Nigeria. And you heard it from Adaobi, how she has been interacting with students in the school she has been assigned to and how she has been impacted and how she has impacted them. National values is something that is needed across different strata of our society as a nation. We need a new set of values. In Secure the Future, our vision is transform mind, reform society. So in order to have a reformed society, it's not just to talk it, it's to go back and transform the minds of the elderly, the young, the teenagers, everyone, so we can have a reformed society. This is as much as we can take, but in our episode 2, we'll be meeting with another national values agent who will be telling you how she had to dig very deep and bend so backward to be able to pull some set of children. There you get to hear a child-headed home, a child who is taking care of over 6 children, responsible for them, still taking them to school. You get to hear all that stories, but we also hear how her effort has reshaped these children. Don't go anywhere. Subscribe to this channel, and you'll be hearing more stories on how Secure the Future is bringing value orientation to students in secondary schools across Nigeria. Thank you so very much, Ada, for coming. I hope you continue.
Yes, of course.
All right. All right. So like, comment, share, drop your comment, your questions, and we'll be glad to respond to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.